This whole story starts with Ellen Degeneres. She's been a big inspiration to me in my life, and I've always wanted to meet her and tell her that. One day when I was out on a run, this crazy idea popped in my head, well, why don't you just run to her?
I ain't gonna stop till I get there, baby. I'll run all the way to LA if I need to. Maybe that's an idea. Woo, over and out.
When I first shared this idea with some people, they told me I was crazy. Specifically, my mom told me no, 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 no. But I realized I had something special here. I realized I had an opportunity to do something beyond myself, bigger than myself. So I connected with charities that I'm already working with in town, along with the Ellen Fund, to do something beyond anything I ever thought I could do. Day one, I went right out my front door in South Phoenix, and I ran 27 miles to Buckeye, Arizona, where my beautiful fiance, Serenity Rizvik, picked me up, who was the best one-man support team somebody could have asked for.
Oh, and my babe right next to me. She loves me so much.
Hit day two, and something I didn't really account for, because I'd never done this before, was the extra weight I was carrying. I had a Camelback full of water, a battery pack to support the live stream I was doing, food, etc. About 15 pounds extra I was carrying. And by about mile 20 on day two, my MCL, my right knee, started acting up. I literally had to slow down to a walk because the last thing I wanted to do was actually injure myself at the beginning of this journey. So going into day three, we thought we had this thing handled, Wrapped up my knee real good, gonna get back out down the road and get it done. Little did we know, at the end of the night, I'd have an allergic reaction to the adhesive of that wrap. And it would just rip the blisters and my skin right off my leg. It's honestly one of the most painful things I've ever felt. It was awful. It was just ripping my skin, and it was an open wound for well over a week after that. It definitely put some other things in perspective, and I still got that scar to this day, and I'm proud of that scar. Day 4 and day 5 were me just kind of acclimating to this new reality. I'm dealing with this open wound on my leg, which is affecting my running. I still have the MCL. That was the reason we wrapped the leg to begin with. I was trying to really pace myself, but get through as much as I could get through every day and keep moving forward. Day 6, I got a little energy back.
Go! Out here running. Rode to Ellen with my dad. He's out on his bike with me today. Day number 6. Over 100 miles in, baby. Ah, he's got it. He's got it.
Day 6, I crossed the California border. Look at this. This was me actually crossing the border right here, just before that sign. And this is the Colorado River. How cool is that? That was a magical moment.
California, baby. It's the Colorado River.
Day 9. Checking up on him right here. Still running. Day 9.
That's love right there. That's my babe trailing me, putting light on my road like she does in my life. When there ain't nobody out here on this road, it's easy to do what we want.
As I'm moving forward, I got to day 10. I've rebuilt a little bit. The open wound is healing. The bandages we're having to wrap stuff is becoming a little bit less. And I hit what some people call this athletic peak. On day 10, I was out there in the middle of nowhere in the Mojave Desert, feeling like I was Kobe Bryant, feeling like I was Michael Jordan. I was running up these massive hills in this Mojave Desert, just owning it, taking it, asking these mountains and these hills, is this all you got? And I felt amazing. And like life does, day 11 hit me with like a ton of bricks. The shoulder of the road of the highway I was running on ended up being mostly soft sand. And it ate me up. Every day, there were ups and downs, of course. Some days I would get emotional. Other days I would feel inspired and covered in goosebumps and believing in the magic of the universe. But day 11, I never had one up moment. I was struggling in this soft sand. It was one of my worst days, if not the worst day. And in a universal moment, a little girl named Peyton, a cancer patient at one of the hospitals I volunteered my time at, sent me a text through her dad's phone. And she said, you don't have to be out there struggling in pain, but you are, and you're doing it for us. She said, we don't have a choice, the pain that we have to be in. And man, like, if that didn't reality check me and make me dig in and say, hell yeah, I'm gonna get through today. And hell yeah, I'm gonna get through all 16 days. And it's moments like that that happen throughout this journey that absolutely assured me of what I was doing and why I was doing it.
Let's kind of backtrack and tell people why you are doing this in the first place. What was the kind of the impetus behind this?
So it started initially just because I'm a big fan of Ellen, and what I appreciate about her is how she spreads happiness, and that inspired me. And so I was like, you know, as a musician, I'm like, you're always trying to look for a big break or some sort of way. I'm like, I'd love to meet her, and it'd come that way. And so I just started submitting through her website, and I did it every single day for over 200 days in a row now. And I video blogged, so I documented what I was doing every day to show her what I was doing. And like, here I am as part of my life, like volunteering my time at the Sunshine Village and playing for people with Alzheimer's and dementia. And, you know, when I became aware, I really had to become aware of what I was doing on a daily basis, I realized, man, I really can't change the world. I really already am changing the world.
What's up, everybody? It's Lee Pereira here. It's day number 12. Being perfectly honest, yesterday, day number 11, was absolutely the roughest day so far. I just felt completely drained and like I was just dragging my feet every step of the way. But we got through the day, 27.5 miles. Today needs to be a big day. My baby's turning right now. She just dropped me off. Today needs to be a big day. We're leaving 29 Palms and we'll be entering the San Bernardino Forest today, which sounds super exciting. I'm really excited to get into that forest and feel that energy today.
Day 12, I was already behind the 8 ball. Because of the injuries, earlier in the run, I had not run all the miles that I had anticipated I would have run at that point. So I was not starting at the checkpoint that I had laid out. So I entered into the San Bernardino Mountains, expecting to go about 30 miles that day, because I'm trying to make up miles every day to get back on track. And I did not anticipate how massive these San Bernardino Mountains were. I made all these checkpoints on paper. I didn't have time to check out the course before. And when I got to the one turn I needed to make on the 2N01 Forest Road, that road just went straight up to the peak of the San Bernardino Mountains. And I had no idea that in March and April there'd be snow on those mountains. And due to a late start that day, dusk was falling by the time I needed to make this turn to take me to the next checkpoint that my fiance Serenity was waiting for me at. And I got a sick feeling in my stomach. I'm a California boy. I lived a lot of my life in Arizona, and I am not familiar with the snow. And it concerned me to think that I've never taken this route before. If something were to happen, I've got no service. I don't handle the cold well. I might be stuck in the snow. Maybe the snow has snowed over the route, and I lose track of where I'm going. I had no service at this point, no GPS, no nothing. So I rerouted myself through Big Bear, California, which tacked on an additional 12 miles to this already long day I had. And to cap it all off, the checkpoint that I pre-set up, my fiance had no service at. So it was a leap of faith. You know, I told her, just be at the checkpoint, trust the universe, I will make it there. I was supposed to meet her there at 8 p.m. We did not have contact until about 11:45 that night. She had to drive back down the mountain over an hour just to get service. And by the time she finally made that decision to leave the checkpoint and leave where I was supposed to pop up, it was already 10 o'clock. And she was worried sick about me. And I knew this as I was running down now from Big Bear. On day 12 alone, I covered over 45 miles in about 12 hours. Over 8,000 feet of elevation I did in one day. We ended up connecting a little bit after midnight, drove back down the mountain to our hotel, got some much needed rest. And never did I think I would almost do 50 miles in one day, but it definitely unlocked some new doors in my brain that I didn't know existed before that.
What's up, everybody? Lee Pereira here, day number 13. After a 45-plus mile journey on day number 12, I'm grateful that everything worked out, that how I rerouted myself out of the mountains, although rough and long, was probably the best decision. You can still see the snow on the mountains over there, and I was higher than that.
Day 13, we're just trying to get out of the mountain. We're on some highways, just curving down, but it's a little rough because it's 2-lane highways on the mountains curving, so I gotta be real careful. I gotta really be aware. Did another 20-plus miles that day. Day 14, I'm still in the mountains, but I'm gonna get out. I can see the finish line as far as getting out of San Bernardino Mountains. I'm feeling good. Here we go, 3 days left. 3 days left. I talked to my fiance shortly after I start that day, and we got a call that her grandmother had 3 days left to live. Here we are, 3 days away from the finish line of the most remarkable thing I've ever done personally and for my community. And the woman I love most, the woman who means the most to me, her grandmother is about to pass away. What am I supposed to do? I thought, and I told her, we don't have to finish this. We could call it off. We've raised a bunch of money already. Obviously 100% of that's gonna go to these charities. And we could chalk it up to, that's life, you know? And we gotta do what's right for our family. But she wouldn't do it. She stood by me. She never left my side. And we marched forward. With a heavy heart, I got through that day. I ran the fastest splits of any day on that day, day 14. And the reason why is because I was running on heart. I was running on a purpose that was close to my heart. We get through that day, we got 2 days left. I'm thinking maybe there's a chance I could get through these days and she could still get home. When we get to day 16, the last day, an exciting day, her grandmother passes. We get to the finish line. I was at that point in a ton of pain. Just standing made me want to throw up. My mom stays in Southern California, so we stayed with her for the last few days, and she just couldn't even believe what I had put myself through. But we did it. We raised a bunch of money and a bunch of awareness for 4 amazing charities. As I learned in the months that followed, I inspired a community of people that I don't even know. People I still come up to me and ask me about the runs, tell me how I've inspired them and to get them in the gym or chase a dream or pursue a passion. This whole thing has changed my life. And it's the reason why now I've turned these runs into a nonprofit. I call that nonprofit 16 by 16 Incorporated, in honor of the 16 marathons I've done. And we're gonna do it again. In 2020, in March and April, same time we did last year, I'm gonna run to California again. I hope Ellen answers the door this time and fulfills my dream of meeting her and telling her how much she's inspired me and how much that has changed my life. I plan to do it again for the same charities, because my heart goes out to them and I work with them on a monthly basis, donating my time, performing music at their shelters, in their hospitals. And our mission is not done. I hope you follow me on this journey. I hope you donate if you're able to. And I hope you share this so we can spread this cause to as many people as possible. You can make a difference. I used to think that I couldn't, until I learned that I could. I love all you. See you on the road.